Hey everybody, just wanted to make a video going over how to do a works cited page and some of the tools and resources that will be available to you on Canvas to help you out with that. Let's start by pointing out a few things about the works cited page. First thing to note, the works cited page goes on its own page. It does not share a page with the rest of the essay. You finish your conclusion paragraph and then you scroll down to a new page. You start your works cited page by centering the phrase works cited at the top of the page. Notice that you still have the running header with the author's last name and page number, and everything on the works cited page, just as the essay, is double spaced with no additional spaces. So notice that the citations go in alphabetical order from author's last name, right? So here we have two citations. One from John Elgin, and one from Ross Platter. So E comes before P, therefore this citation comes first in the order of citations listed. Now, another thing to notice, all of our citations for essay number 2, all the articles are online articles from online magazines, so they should be cited in a fairly similar way if those are all that you're using for your essay. This first article, titled Black Americans Face Alarming Rates of Coronavirus Infection in Some States, had 3 or more authors. So if your article has 2 or more authors, you will list each of their names. So it would be John Elgin, and then it would be like one other person if he had written the article with one other person. If it's 3 or more people, then you use this phrase et al. And notice that it's lowercase. Notice that there's not a period after et, but there is a period after all. So, citations begin with the author's last name, the author's first name. Then they move on to the title of the article in quotation marks, right? Then they move on to where the article was found or who published the article in italics. In this case, it's the New York Times. And then it moves on to the date that the article was published, the 16th of September 2020. And then it ends with the website of the article. All right, or at least the website, the URL that the article was found. Notice that the author's last names will end with a period. The title of the article will end with a period inside the quotation marks, and everything else gets a comma after it. Okay? All right. So now that I've kind of gone over the way that a works cited page is structured, let's try to build a citation on our own. So I'm going to scroll down. Oh, one other thing I'd like to point out is that these citations, any citation that runs longer than one line gets what's called a hanging indent, which means that the citation is aligned all the way to the left, and then any subsequent line that's included in that citation is indented by 1 tab space, right? Also, I've eliminated blue font and underline in the URLs that come up. That sometimes happens automatically. So you can see that just kind of happened automatically. What I would do is just highlight it and go to font color. Where is font color? And then go to black and then click underline twice to get rid of the underline. All right, so let's cite a brand new thing so we can see how this is done from beginning to end. So I'm going to go to a new line. I'm not going to do any additional spaces beyond what's already double spaced, okay? Now, I will minimize this, or not minimize it, but kind of make it a little smaller. And then let's say I'm going to use this article right here. Okay, so we start with the title, the author's name. All right, Taylor McNeil. So we'll go McNeil because we start with the last name, and as a matter of fact, that comes before P. M comes before P, so I'm going to place it right here in the order because it's after E and before P. So McNeil, Taylor, and period, because a period comes after the author's name. Then in quotation marks, the title of the article, why people of color are suffering more from COVID-19. All right. And then I'll put a period and then quotation marks. And then we will put the name of the publication that published this article. So this is Tufts Now. So I'll put that in italics. Tufts Now. And then a comma. And then the date that the article was published. So that's September 16th, 2020. And we'll format that like this. Take the italics off. 16, comma, September, comma, 2020. And then another comma. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the URL of this, where this article was found online. We're going to put that URL in our citation. So this is a little bit tricky. You can search for this article online and then find it that way. Or sometimes that the URL is listed at the bottom of the page. I don't see it here. So I'm going to go back to the top of the page and I don't see it here either. So maybe what I'll do is I'll actually try to search for it online. I'm going to copy the title, open a new tab, search, and then here I find it right here. All right, so I will just copy and paste the URL into my Works Cited page. Right, I'll just paste it right there. And voila, that should be it. Let's see if it, so it turned blue and underlined, so I'm going to highlight it. I'll change the font color to black. And then I'll try to get rid of the underline by clicking the underline twice. Now I have to take care of my hanging indent, right? Because this citation goes on for longer than one line. So I'll put the cursor at the start of the second line. I'll hit enter once and then I'll hit tab, right? And I see that this popped out a little bit. So I have to indent that as well. I've already hit enter for the second line. So now for the third line, all I have to do is hit tab. And there's your hanging indent. Okay, and then it turned from black to blue again, so I'll just fix that again. And there you have it. That's it. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is that I know a lot of you, when you copy and paste information from an article online straight to your Word or Google document, the formatting is a little different. There's a way that you can fix that. So let's say I copied, okay, I'll find a different article to help me prove this a little bit. Excuse me, we'll go back to the home page. I'll click this on this article, it pops up. Okay, so for example, if I was going to cite this one, and it was time for me to put in the URL, I'll copy the URL, which I found at the bottom left-hand corner of the page, where it often is, and then I'll go to my Works Cited page, and I'll paste it in there, and we can see that it's not formatted in the same way as the rest of my Works Cited page. When you're working in Word, you can just highlight that. You can hit this little button right here with the A and like the kind of purple eraser thing. It says Clear All Formatting. You click on that, and then it'll format it for the Word document, and all you have to do is just change the font to the same font type and the same font size, and you have it formatted properly for your Works Cited page. So I hope that helps. All right. Google Docs, you can do a similar thing. It's a little different. You can Google it, or maybe we can work on it together if you're having problems. And now I just want to move back to our Canvas page and show you a few things that I'm going to have up for you. First of all, I'll keep this Works Cited page up as a sample, right? This video obviously will be on Canvas, but also I have this from Los Medanos College Library, this citation examples for MLA works cited lists. So this kind of has virtually every different source that you might use and how it would look cited on a works cited page. As I mentioned, all of our articles for Essay 2 were from websites. So you can see down here close to the bottom, there's website with no author, how you would cite that, and then there's website with author, how you would cite that. So you can always look to that for reference as well. And hopefully that this handout will also help you with future citations if you're using books, newspapers, journals, or other sources besides websites. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. And just let me know if you have any questions. We can work on it together. All right. I will talk to you all later.